Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto for GrowMyBag.tv. I hope you're having a good one. What's good? What's good? What's good? So we have major malfunctions this morning. Sucked. Like it totally took me out of my game. I just wasn't into it this morning. Like I had done the show like I'm gonna say like 4 times. Excuse me, before everything finally started working properly. I was not pleased. I was not pleased at all. But tonight's question, what layer 1 was targeted by hackers today? Stellar, Solana, XRPL, other. And if you think it's other, answer it in the comments, please. Pretty please. So what do we have going on right now? What we have going on right now is the market recovered. The market is actually up a little less than $100 more than what it lost yesterday. So we've gained ground. That's a good thing. But I want you to pay attention to the chain of events. So the chain of events are early morning, a post was made, and we know what happened after that. Right? We know what happened after that. Everything started tanking. We had been down as much as 1,000 points. And we had been running at about 1,000 points all day long. And we finally ended a little over, I think it was a little over 950. And then today, what happened? Today, what happened was that Scott Bessent came out and said, hey, it looks like we're probably going to do, we think there's a deal in the future, like relatively close or something like that. And then so what happened today? Markets shot up. Now, people thought I was crazy because I said the market was voting. The market dropped almost 1,000 points yesterday, at close, and 1,000 points. Well, the market voted. We don't like what you're doing. What happened today? Good news came. Market shot back up. The bad and the good. And every time this happens now, my first question is, who's making money? That's my first question. Who's making money? Right? Because most economists, I think, I haven't heard an economist, I say most only because I haven't heard an economist actually say to the contrary. Most economists are saying, yeah, Powell is not in a good position to be able to help with the mess that was made. Everything was ready to rock. We were going to get cuts. Things were going all right. Things were moving in the right direction. So I think cuts were in the near term. And like I said this morning, we started looking at different tariffs and things went down. They dropped and it caused a lot of turmoil. But not just for Powell, but for people that are in the market, the traders, the economists, everybody just started freaking out. People in the crypto industry, everybody just started freaking out. Rick Ritchie in his house, how are you? None that I could find. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. And did you invest in yourself today? I haven't been on the website because I've been working on another project just for us, by the way, for us, not for anybody else. Who's making money? Economists are saying, listen, Jay Powell is not in a good place. Thank you for letting me know. Jay Powell is not in a good place. So if he's not in a good place to be able to make cuts, because if he makes those cuts, he's blown one of the few bullets he has to try to keep some semblance of balance between inflation and jobs. Okay? So, yeah, we have more bullets than Europe. We have more levers to pull than Europe. However, they're not infinite. I think we have 1 or 2 more levers than they do. Right? And they're not happy. They're not happy. And these are things that we've got to worry about because it's not just the United States that we have to worry about. It's the global economy. Like people ask me all the time, Eddie, why do you report on things that are happening around the world. You're from the United States. How come you're not just talking about that? The world is about this big. The world is about this big. Okay? So what happens over here happens over there. What happens over there affects over here. They're not tiny little things. They're not tiny little things. So every time you make a move, you've really got to do the calculations on, well, how is everybody else going to react? Okay? You have to take that into account. Must. So a post was made yesterday morning, market tanks. One of his cabinet members comes out and says something positive, market shoots up. Like I said, I do wonder who made money. I do wonder who made money. Who was at the ready to make money? And then I also started thinking, well, why are you going after Powell? When this whole thing started, we had said, Powell can't fix what somebody else has done. He can't. And basically, you know, you're kind of putting him in a between a rock and a hard place, right? And so I really just want to know who made money. I really want to know what else happened while we were looking at the market, what happened over here. Because there's a lot. I mean, 70. We were told a number as high as 70 countries were calling to make deals. What deals have been made? That would be really good news. Really good news. There are a couple of things that happened. So the market shoots up, right? Actually, market tanked yesterday. Bitcoin goes up. Market goes up today. Bitcoin goes up. And gold, I don't know where Titanic is, but gold went bonkers yesterday, went bonkers again today. And I just sit back and I just kind of go, yeah, you know, that decoupling of Bitcoin and people really looking at crypto and going, yeah, that's probably where I need to be with all this mashugana going on. I'm just saying, because for me, I literally had a conversation with somebody today, and we were talking about the banking licenses, the banking applications by those 4 companies: Coinbase, BitGo, Circle, and Paxos. And we were talking about it. And I was kind of trying to play it forward, you know, like who else would be involved, who else could win from it, what would be good. Today I look at the numbers and I'm like, oh snap, ING is looking to do their own stablecoin. Okay. And it's backed by Societe Generale and Circle. And they're going to be compliant with MiCA. Of course they're going to be compliant. They're a bank. They have to be compliant. It's a bank. They must be compliant. So I just start putting the pieces together. How's this working out? How's that working out? Who's involved? What's going on there? What's going on here? Who's doing what? There's a lot. There's more than a lot. There is more than a lot, and I'm actually mad happy about it. Mad happy about it. Hey, Rick, I'm wondering if, you know, no notification. Did you get a notification today? Because that should have been my sign when you didn't get notifications yesterday that something was going to go awry this morning. When you and 8 Paws said something, because I was like, yeah, that's not cute. That's not cute at all. I was not pleased. So I'm just looking around. And I'm kind of like, yeah, there are things. There's more institutional investment. There's more adoption going on. Believe it or not, there's more adoption going on. And what's even better is that adoption leads to further innovation. But I'll tell you something else that happened numerically. Shorts got liquidated today. Ethereum shorts got hammered. what is it, $258 million in crypto positions were liquidated in 24 hours, led by $42.33 million in Ethereum short liquidations after a price rise. Yeah, they got hammered. Marcus, hello, what's going on? Thank you for letting me know that you invested in yourself. Greatly appreciate that. No, I didn't, but when I went to your page, it was posted not like it. That's weird. Well, I posted late tonight. You know, my niece and nephew were over, so I was trying to have dinner with them. And so I actually didn't create everything until like late. Like, I want to say like, what time is now? 8:10. So maybe 17 minutes ago is when I created it. So I was running mad late. Mad late. So again, tonight's question is, what layer 1 was targeted by hackers today? Solana, Stellar, XRPL, other. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. Former SEC advisor Justin Slaughter warns that crypto regulation is increasingly fragmented, even though the new regime is there. Yep. Because state level lawsuits are now coming. Oregon started it, and apparently there are more coming. And that says that, hey, really, Congress needs to step up. Congress needs to step up. Let's get this stuff codified. Let's put it on the books. Let's be done with it. Because states, I mean, that's one of the problems with crypto in the United States. Each state has their own regulations. So I think at a higher level, it needs to be, here are the parameters that determine whether or not you're a security. Here are the parameters that determine whether or not, you are, a commodity. Or just not a security. That's going to be a problem. Because I think technically Oregon has enough to make a case, and they're making the case. And I don't understand what their problem is. The future is here. You're not going to bring down. They don't have the kind of money that the United States government has, and they're not going to bring down Coinbase. And if that lawsuit gets shot down, it's going to be really difficult for everybody else. Really difficult. I just think that they're kind of tripping right now. But I mean, the cases were. I mean, you're in the thralls of the case being dropped by the SEC. Like, everything's, that's almost done. Not quite, but almost done. And then here comes Oregon. Why? Do they think that, oh yeah, it's definitely going to be dropped, so we have to bring ours because the United States couldn't prove it. So they're figuring, well, at the state level, we can prove it. And then you have to say to yourself, well, how far back do you go historically and all that stuff? There's a lot to unpack there. I just don't think that they're going to have a strong case. Is it possible that a state can win? Of course. Is it possible that a state is going to get $1 billion, judgment? Of course not. I don't think so. So whatever they're going for, and I don't know that it's for name anymore. When it first came out, I thought it was, oh, this guy just wants to build a name for himself. Hasn't really been in the news. I think people are looking at that case and kind of shrugging it off and not giving them anything. You want to make a name? You will have to make your name. Make your case and win. I don't know that that's going to happen. I really don't know that's going to happen. But, that former SEC advisor is saying this seems to be ramping up. So not necessarily at the Fed level. There's still stuff to be cleaned up at the Fed level, he's saying. But definitely at the state level, there could be more coming. And I would have thought that there would be more states saying, we'd like to figure this out. We'd like some guardrails. We'll help build the guardrails, everything else. And I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing states jump up and take a pragmatic approach toward this is how you can work within our state. Here are the guardrails. This is how you can work within our state. I'm not seeing that. Even with states that, are okay with crypto. I'm not seeing a pragmatic approach to codify the guardrails for crypto in those states. And are they waiting for the US government to do it? Like, I don't know. So it could be a minute before we actually have some sort of national level clarity beyond it. But I'll tell you something else. I was reading another article today, and it said that the European Union is freaking out. They're like, there's going to be contagion from what we're doing in the United States from a regulatory perspective with regard to cryptos. Okay. Like, I think the first thing that's going to hit them is, banks can custody crypto. That's probably the first one that they're flipping out about. The second one that they're going to flip out about is the idea of exchanges going out there and snatching broker dealers. Maybe even snatching up a bank. You can see how this could happen. You can see how this could play out. I know I can. I can definitely see how this plays out. So yeah, there are a lot of things going on that I really have my eyes on. A company, Janover, was taken over. They changed their name to DeFi Development Corp. They invested another $37 million in Solana, raising their total holdings they raised $42 million via convertible notes, and they saw their stock surge 824% year to date as it pivots fully into a crypto treasury management alongside other firms like Upexi. Yeah, these companies are starting to read from the same book. And they're saying, oh, it's working over there. We're going to do the same thing over here. And it all started with strategy. Think about that. It all started with strategy. Then you had Japan Semler Scientific, or Metaplanet pick up, Semler Scientific picked up, and now you have companies around the way. I mean, Metaplanet's ranked number 9 out of all the public companies out there in what they that they hold. My mother normally listens to the show, and she just IM'd me to let me know, hey, I'm not going to be in class today because I've got some business. She's throwing a jewelry party at her house. My mother makes jewelry. Isn't that pretty cool? So yeah, I'm just looking at how these companies are stacking up, and I just see them stacking and stacking and stacking. Oh, Captain Banana invested in herself. Rising gold price is an indication of a failing currency. That's right, it is. You should have left that there. You should have left that there because it's true. You should have left it. I'm looking around the world and I'm thinking, historically, there are a lot of failing currencies. Historically. And I'm kind of like, people have to be looking at that. Must be looking at that. Every so often you have a new currency that takes leadership and it lasts for a couple of hundred years. It's cyclical. And it, this one dies, another one comes along. This one dies, another one comes along, so on and so on and so forth. But she also IM'd me to let me know that she did invest in herself. But I am looking at that. I started off the show tonight saying the world is about this big. The world is about this big. And it's because we're so much closer than we were. What does that mean? It means that I can hop on a video call with somebody now that's in another country and have it cost me nothing. Remember when we were paying for cell phone coverage, at least in the United States? Remember when we were paying for cell phone coverage for by the minute? Yeah. Now you can hop on video conference calls and have it cost you just about nothing. You just need internet access or a data plan. And all those prices have dramatically just dropped. You're living in a world where everything is so close. People are closer, cultures are closer, and people are starting to realize that I can do my own investment. I don't have to save my money and let somebody else make money from my money. I can invest my money and I make money on my money. I can do things myself. And crypto is one of those things that I can do myself. We have a number of people out here that don't trust banks. So what are they doing? They're taking the money out of the banks and they're investing in crypto and leaving it over there. Only enough money in the bank to cover the month's bills. Because what else would I be doing with that money? I mean, you keep some cash in the house. You got to keep cash in the house. Emergencies, things happen. But wow, you have a vastly growing number, quickly growing number rather, of people that are just moving away from the traditional financial systems. And the financial institutions that are out there started realizing that and started going, oh, that's not what we want. What is everybody flocking to? Oh, they're flocking to that. Some of us like it, some of us don't. And the ones that don't, they're kind of like, maybe we need to get involved with that now. There are a lot of companies out there that are starting to rethink. Wow, 4 votes. 2 for Solana, 1 for XRPL, and 1 for other. Interesting. Interesting. Very much interesting. I'm just looking at everything that's going on and I'm just saying to myself, there's just a ton of people that are starting to wake up and realize that, you know what, crypto is not going away. It's been here for over a decade, almost 2. And I need to get on the bandwagon. I need to start learning about it. A lot of the money that's been sitting on the sidelines starting to come in. Not by huge numbers. Let's not get it twisted. Not by huge numbers. But Bitcoin is currently at almost $93,000. Right now, my bad. It's on my almost $94,000. Right now, I'm looking at CoinMarketCap. It's at 93,734. 93,734. Yeah, pretty much that's the high of the day. So yeah, when you start thinking about everything that's going on, you start to realize to yourself, like, wow, there are a lot of things going on. I mean, XRP is back in the black, 7.2% year to date. I checked in insurance. Yeah, Bitcoin insurance is no joke. Like, I'm not buying Bitcoin insurance. I'm not. But you start to realize that there are different products and services that are out there, and it's up to you to do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely, invest deliberately. And Rick Ritchie's like, yeah, somebody put out an idea. This business exists. Do your own research and see if that's something you want to get involved in. Wow. If you'd have invested, I just want to take a look at, just where, let's take a look at the crypto tracker. Oh, I said the crypto tracker. There you go. Let me bring you guys along for the ride. All right, so let's look at the losers, of which we're probably not going to see many. Yeah, so who's up here that's a loser? Pax Gold is down, 33.60. Aw. It's less than 5%. Nobody cares. Less than 5%, nobody cares. And look at this list. Eventually, you hit positives. So yeah, let's look at the winners. Winners, Pudgy Penguins up 46%. I told you the other day, Pudgy Penguins could do something. Brett, wow, up 29%. Holy moly. Immutable up 20. I never would have guessed this. Immutable is up 26.31%. It's got a GMB X factor of 15.3. Virtuals is up. I have a bag of virtuals. It's up 25.89%. It's got a GMB X factor of 6.16. Wow. Bonk. is up 25.59%, 2.77 GMB X factor. SUI is up 25%, 25.53%, GMB X factor of 0.94. SUI's here to stay. I can tell you now, I think SUI's here to stay. Fartcoin is up 24.27%, GMB X factor of 1.16. Wait a minute. Because I could have sworn, I thought I saw Pepe. There's Pepe. So Fartcoin has a better GMB X factor, right? There's Fartcoin at 1.16, and there's Pepe at 2.09. And then here's another kicker for you. They were talking about it could overtake Bonk. Bonk is number 5, I think, and it could overtake Bonk. Bonk's GMB X factor is 2.77. Wow. PaxG is down from profit taking. Yep. I'm not mad at that at all. I'm not mad at that at all. However, it's hard for me to take profit from PaxG. I know it sounds insane, but it's similar to why I won't take profit on Bitcoin for now. PaxG is almost in its own space, right? I don't want to take profit on PaxG because gold would have to drop hard. But when you have so many fiat around the world that are hurting, I don't know about that. So I would take profit elsewhere and probably buy more PaxG and Bitcoin and SUI and a few others. I'm just saying, like, that's honestly how I look at it. Dog with Hat is up. I mean, look at these numbers. Up double digits. I mean, you've got to go. The whole list is up double digits. Okay? Stacks, Floki, even Aerodrome Finance, Pepe, Caspa, Curve, Radium, Dog with Hat, Farcoin. I mean, you just go up the list. Double digits. Let's take a look at the top 250. That's going to be interesting. Hello, top 250. Top 250. Yeah, okay, so that's the top 250. And percent change. Yeah, look at that. Deep Book. I've never heard of Deep Book. Never heard of them. Yeah, a lot of the ones at the top are meme coins. Virtuals, it is not a meme coin. But Bonk, Brett, Immutable is not a meme coin. Popcat, Pudgy Penguin, Deep Book. I have no idea what Deep Book is. Don't ask me. I have no idea. But SUI, I mean, just look at some of these numbers. I mean, you're going if to hit my 5% rule, holy moly. Wow, there you go. To hit my 3% rule, you're down like, I want to say, what, 3/4? 3/4 of the way down. So starting from Filecoin, Quant, which is an ISO 222 coin, BitTorrent, Bitcoin Cash, Movement is another one. Movement had that fiasco with the market maker. Axelar, Wormhole. Let's see. Like, you could have put your finger on almost any of the coins out here. Definitely any of the top 25 rather, and you could have made some money. You could have made some bank. So just looking at how things play out, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's interesting. Let me see something. So VIX is down, but Russell 2K, the NASDAQ, look at the NASDAQ number. That's a big number. All right, S&P 500, not a big number, but respectable. Look at that number, 1,000 in a day. I'm just saying there are opportunities. There are absolutely opportunities for you to do stuff and make money. But the trick is you've honestly got to do your own research, know your entries and exits. Like right now, if you're itching to take some profit, now could be a good time, but you've got to know your entries and exits. And it's not just the number that you're putting in, it's also the number that you want to execute out on getting out. But it's not just that, it's also the path for you to get out. People forget that. They go, oh, I finally got this coin. And it's like, okay, so now what do you do when you have to sell? How fast can you move when you have to sell? It just shot up for some reason. You know it's going to come back down. How fast can you move? Do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Gather all the information you need, do your calculations, understand your routes, and handle your investments appropriately. It's no joke. It's not as easy as people think. People think, oh, it's not a big deal. DeepBook is a decentralized central limit order book on SUI. Ooh. Oh, that's interesting. It serves as a native liquidity layer for the SUI ecosystem. That's wow. Wow. And look at that. If you knew about them, it's up 117%. Now at 19 cents, ranking at 143, that could be something to get into. You know what I'm interested in? Okay, let's do this. I'm talking to you like you guys can actually see me, doing stuff. So, DeepBook. Is it that one? Yeah, it's that one. It's this one. Bear with me. It's coming. So you can get it on Bybit, Upbit, MEXC, Gate.io. These are all foreign. KuCoin's not in the United States right now. You can get it on crypto.com. Wow. Wowzers. Yeah, Bitwave, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you can get it in a lot of places in a lot of ways. In the United States, you're a little bit limited. Let's see. Let's go with centralized exchanges first. Yeah, you're seriously limited if you're in the United States. You've got crypto.com. Seriously? Wow. You do not have a lot of choices if you're in the United States. If you want to get it, if you want to get your grubby little hands on it. That's no joke. That is no joke. I mean, can you make a penny? Let me see. Could you make a penny? Let me see something. So you've got MEXC at 19.27. You've got Upbit at 18.74. There's a 40. Yeah, you're not going to make a lot of money there. So we're looking for 19.1. So 18.1 is kind of where I want to be if I wanted to do something with it. Orange X, I've never heard of it. Don't even know how much their volume is low. It's only at $10 million. So it makes you wonder, do I want to do business there? You could. Liquidity score is 551, respectable. But yeah, so you could automatically, I'm looking for arbitrage. Automatically, I'm definitely looking for arbitrage. I have family that have other accounts that I can ask them to do me a favor. And look at that. There's stuff you can do. Upbit at 1961. Okay. I mean, I'm looking for at least a penny, right? If it's at 19 cents, you make a penny on. Listen, I want to make money any way I can make money. But my real thing is does Deep go higher from here? Like, because it's serving a purpose. It's actually doing something. It's got a real use case. Hutanic, until we know how we roll $2 trillion in commercial loans and $7 trillion in national debt this year, the floor could fall at any moment. Yep, he's not wrong. When you put it in simple terms like that, thank you for that. Did you invest in yourself today, sir? Clearly. When you look at it in simple terms like that, digestible terms, a lot of the people that do this for a living are still asking the same question that a lot of other people are looking for. And that's, about that $37 trillion or 36 point something trillion dollars in debt. How are we handling that? Because I haven't heard anything about bringing down the debt. I haven't heard a thing about bringing down the debt. So that ought to make you stop and think about that. Have that go through your head and say to yourself, well, yeah, how are we handling the debt? We have all these taxes that they want to bring down. How are we bringing down the debt? Haven't heard a jack about that, right? Oh, we're gonna try to cut spending with DOGE. That hasn't worked out. We're gonna cut taxes. How? Excuse me? How is that going to work out? And when you look at the framework that they're putting forward, the more money you make, the less taxes you pay. Excuse me? How does that work for you? I don't see us having a plan for handling debt. The DXY has been taking a beat down. It has been taking a beat down. But look at what Captain Banana was saying earlier. A rising gold is a sign of a hurting fiat. Except gold isn't just in the United States, right? Gold is global. So you've got to ask yourself, who else? Who else's fiat is hurting like that? Is it everybody? And there are a lot of signs that there are a lot of places where their fiat is hurting. That's why I said, I think that, a lot of people are starting to think that the people that they once called crazy, saying that it's, Bitcoin will never, crypto will never be a global currency. Well, tap the brakes on that one. What's going to crush the market? I think you're talking about it right now. Yeah, no, you're on commercial loans. That's one thing that can crush the market. Those commercial loans should have been 10-year loans. The rates are 4x. Rates can't come down. That means we wipe out the market cap on commercial property to a certain level before homes get hit. Commercial loans, commercial real estate. Been saying it for a while. Commercial real estate is taking a hit. There's a project. I think it's in Manhattan, and it's the country's largest, office to residential conversion currently in the country. Technically, that's commercial real estate. Anything greater than a one-family home is commercial real estate. Seriously and true. Anything greater than a single family home is considered commercial real estate. Yup. But the conversions are beginning to happen. And why are they beginning to happen? Oh, yeah, that's right. People don't want to come back. People aren't looking, the older generations are not looking to go back to the city. We got a taste of that suburb, rural life, and we don't want to come back. I think the United States should be banking gold along with China instead of only focusing on BTC. Hat tip to you, sir. Hat tip to you. Yep. But Hutanik's talking about something serious that we've touched on many times. The commercial real estate bubble is bursting and nobody's talking about it. It's at the beginning. You know how you watch a balloon or like a soap bubble pop? It's popping in slow motion. It's popping in slow motion, and we're about to deal with it. China has about 3 times more gold than we do. I don't know that. Is that true? Damn. So they have 3 times more gold than we do. Run with that. They have 3 times more gold than we do. And they're holding almost $1 trillion of our debt. Closer to $1 trillion of our debt. Japan is holding over $1 trillion of our debt. China is holding close, like a hair close to $1 trillion worth of our debt. It's got to make you stop and think about things. Go to the debt clock and then click on gold reserves. Thank you. You're right. Yeah. Totally forgot about that. The information's out there. Do your own research. Know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. Now, here's a question. The rug could get pulled from all of us, out from underneath all of us in a heartbeat, right? And if that happens, what I said this morning is true. What I reported this morning would be true, right? Give me a second. I'll tell you what I said, because I want to give you the name of the person that said it. Bloomberg strategist, very well known, Mike McGlone, warned that U.S. assets, including Bitcoin, could crash up to 50% due to bubble signals and tariffs, with Bitcoin potentially falling to $10,000, while gold could hit $4,000. Lex Luthor in the house. What's good? I don't know what you mean by that date. You're another person that's talking about June. Is that the FOMC meeting? The one after the next one? I don't know. And what's the significance of that date? And then refinancing of national debt. Got it. Okay. Thank you for that. Yet we're monkeying around with tariffs. Remember when I said earlier, we're paying attention to tariffs, but what else could be happening? That right there. These things, not that, those things that are being brought up right now. That's what's going on. This isn't the first time that Hutanix brought up, commercial loans. It's not the first time. It's not the first time that anybody has brought up commercial loans. It's been a thing for a long time. Everybody knows it. It's a ticking time bomb. So the question is, what do you do? So right now, do I take all of my money from crypto and drop it in the PaxG? Like, what's the play? What's the play? I listen to all these talker heads out here, and they're like, oh, you could do this, oh, you could do that. No. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, well, things could drop. What are you going to do? Somebody asked me, how come I keep the number of bags that I have so tight? And why I keep talking about I don't have a lot of slots. This is why. How fast can I liquidate? How fast can I get out? Put my hands on that money. How fast? Some things I'm 1 step away. Some things I'm 2 steps away. And that's about as far as I want to be, is 2 steps away. Wherever I'm at, drop to USDT or USDC, step 1. Step 2. Take at least some of that, put it in the cash, take the rest of it, put it in the PaxG. Why cash? I know it sounds crazy. It does sound crazy. Why cash? Because at some point you're going to need cash. You don't tell anybody you got it. You keep it secure, and you only use it if you have to. But if we drop from the numbers that we're at now, and Bitcoin was to go down to $10,000, we've got bigger problems. We've got way bigger problems. And it's not going to be a US thing. It's going to be a global thing. New dollars in would be BTC, PAXG, split 50-50, then swing it on the exchange. That's a sound game. 6/30, 2025. We've got things that we've got to be paying attention to. That's what's being pointed out to us right now. And the more wide-eyed that you are doing your own research, knowing your entries and exits, and absolutely investing deliberately, now you know why I'm looking at it. I don't think I would go 50-50 BTC and gold. I'd probably be going really heavy on gold. I don't even know that I would leave anything in BTC when it starts tanking. I told you guys this before. When it starts tanking like that, I'm not leaving anything in. I'll wait for it to tank. And then when it gets down there, I'll play the volatility. Because ain't nothing going on. Nothing's going to move. It's going to be the volatility. Anyway, I've got to get down to the city tomorrow, so I'm going to be up at 4 a.m., which means that tomorrow's morning show, if everything goes well, will be on at 5:30. And then I'll head on down to the city. Tonight's question was, what layer 1 was targeted by hackers today? I know it's kind of disgusting. It's kind of rude. Aikido Security found backdoors in multiple XRP Ledger SDK versions on NPM that stole private keys via malicious code, impacting hundreds of thousands of apps, no less, apps. The XRP Ledger Foundation removed the affected versions and is working on fixes. How much time that took? Do you know how much time that took? Wow. Talk about playing the long game. So yeah, it's XRPL. That's the answer to tonight's question. And I know I was evil. I put Solana in there. Yeah. I mean, Stellar was a giveaway, right? That was, there's always one answer that's obviously not the answer. So I chose Stellar to be that one tonight. Stablecoin makers should just take over the national debt in bonds. Problem solved. Yeah, somebody else said that. I think it was Hutanic. Big rallies guaranteed. I'm going to put it to you like this. I think there's going to be a big rally at some point. And I think immediately after that, there's going to be a big crash. That's what I think. So I'm just going to deal with it as it is. Big rally, big crash. Just saying. Anyway, everybody, this is Eddie J on crypto for growmybag.tv. Hope you like what I'm doing. If you do me a favor, smash the likes, tell your friends about us, as well as do your own research, know your entries and exits, and absolutely invest deliberately. It's more important now than ever. Mark my words. It's more important now than ever that you practice that. You couldn't find that even with multiple AI? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on a second. Let me see. Crypto Slate. And AI is not going to have the answer on news right now. That's not how AI works. Yeah, that's how she rolls ups and downs. But in closing, just remember, I'm saying that there's going to be a big rally and a steep decline. So when we start topping out, I'm gonna. It depends on what kind of research. If you're using AI. Depends on what kind of research. It also depends on, do you know how to use AI? I know how to use AI. That's one of the things that we do. I'm good at it. Yeah, gold would be fine. Gold would be absolutely fine. I think gold will do far better than anything else. That's why I'm saying I think right now, I still have my DCA strategy in because like I said, I think we're at some point we're going to shoot up. Once we shoot up, once that plane takes off, well, it's got to land. It's got to land. Right? Lex Luthor, you could be onto something. I think this year is going to be big. I think it's going to be good. I think you're going to see a huge wealth transfer. Huge wealth transfer. So yeah. And exactly, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. I'm telling you, when I think that we're kind of top, I'm going to be done. I will be done. And I'm just gonna relax after that. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna sit back and I'm gonna chill. I want to be as cash heavy, as cash heavy as possible. Not necessarily cash, but you know what I mean. Not necessarily a fiat, but I want to be almost liquid as much as possible when everything starts dropping. When everything starts dropping, because am I worth millions? No. Am I worth billions? No. Am I worth trillions? No. But there's going to be a lot of opportunity. There's going to be a lot of opportunity when everything tanks. There always is. Always is. You just got to find it. Anyway, everybody, thank you for your time. Thank you for your patience. And as always, thank you for your trust. Everybody have a great end of night or end of day, beginning of day. I will speak with you tomorrow. I will be up tomorrow. I'll have the show going at about 5:30. All right? Everybody, have a good one. Bye-bye.